Yes, it's me.
Bonjour, comment allez-vous?
Ça va bien et vous?
Très bien. My name is Amy. I am the managing editor of Ultimate Grappling Magazine.
Yes, for the interview.
Yes, yes.
Perfect.
First of all, I just wanted to thank you for your time. I know you have a very busy schedule these days. And also,
My pleasure.
To clarify, this is for the cover story, which I understand you shot with Doug last Friday in
Yes.
Las Vegas. And how did
Yeah.
that go?
Very, very well.
Oh, good, good. I'm glad to hear that. Also, to let you know, this conversation is being recorded, so I just wanted to make sure you're okay with that.
Okay, perfect. No problem.
All right. And how much time do you have?
Well, I have like 10 minutes, 15 minutes is good.
15 minutes? Okay. So hopefully we can get through all the questions. So let's get started. Just to start off, can you please confirm your age?
26.
26. All right. And can you describe your life right now? I know the PR department said that you're in such high demand these days. So what's it like?
It's crazy. My phone ring every 2 minutes.
Wow. So how about inside the cage? You won the title, you lost the title, you now have the interim title. So can you describe what that path has been like?
Well, I know what it takes to be champion, and I know what it takes to stay champion. I learned it myself. Sorry.
Okay. And before we get into Matt Serra, can you talk about your dominating performance over Matt Hughes?
My fight with Matt Hughes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had the best training camp of my life, and I was very well prepared.
Awesome. And prior to the Hughes fight, you said you were coming in as the sharpest, strongest, best you've ever been. Do you think you will ever get to that level for every fight?
I actually think that it's going to be better every fight because I'm young and I keep improving fight after fight.
And does that create any pressure for you to get to that high level every single time?
The pressure is always there, but I'm good when I'm fighting under pressure.
Okay, great. Okay, so in post-fight press conferences, you've talked about the sports psychologist you use, Brian Kane. Why?
No, it's Peter Bender.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. And how has this impacted your career?
It helped me a lot because I think a lot of people underestimate the mental game, and it makes a big difference when you're at the level of fighting.
Right, right. You mentioned in other interviews it's 90% mental and 10% physical in the ring, right?
That's right, exactly.
And why is that exactly?
Because your training is already done, so you cannot be sharp and more in shape than you already are.
All right.
So you can have a better over a day, and over a certain amount of time in a short period. You can change the way you see things.
All right. And how do you think your time with the sports psychologist will impact your approach to the Matt Serra fight?
Well, it's going to help me because I lost to him before, but I'm not afraid of Matt Serra. I respect him, but I'm not afraid of him.
Right.
And next time, I see this fight as a redemption, not as a revenge.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to prove myself that I'm better than what I showed last time, and I know I am. And people will be shocked in front of the result next time.
Right. Okay. So he has the title right now, but he's considered the underdog, which he says he's fine with. Do you anticipate this will generate more motivation for him?
It is probably, but I don't mind. He cannot be more motivated than me.
All right. All right. Are you angry with him for some of the things he said about you recently, like like Frenchie, go drink some red wine, and any of that?
I think this thing doesn't have place in a sporting event. But I'm not a shit talker, and I'm gonna let my fist talk in the octagon after 19.
Do you think that the anger? A lot of the media, they try to create a lot of drama between or in any situation. So do you think that this whole anger, animosity thing has been blown out of proportion?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
He said, and he's assuming what he has said. but it's just gonna create a more negative vibe on him, not on me. So I don't mind. I'm not gonna fight with my anger, because when you do so, you can make mistakes. I fight with my heart, and I look forward to the fight.
So obviously, you think that it hurts to go into a fight angry with an opponent.
Absolutely.
I see. Okay, so what is the greatest lesson you took away from your fight with him last April?
That's a good question. You know, when you're champion, there is a line to separate you from the other fighters. There is a line, like the people, like, you always keep saying how great you are and stuff like that, and you know, you have special treatment with the UFC and things like that. But this line who separate you, it's an illusion. And sometimes you don't realize it, but it took me a loss to realize it. I will never make this a mistake again.
I see. Okay. Do you think that fighting in Canada will provide a home field advantage for you?
It will. It will give me a positive vibe, and it puts more pressure. But I'm good when I'm fighting under pressure. I'm at my best.
Right. And okay, pressure. Speaking of pressure, some consider you to be like the poster boy of MMA right now. Have you heard this?
No.
No. What do you think about that? What do you think of? Because it's been said in many articles, you're like the golden boy of MMA. You're like a good role model, I think, is what they're trying to say. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I should think about stop my career in fighting and start modeling. I'm kidding you.
For affliction.
Too ugly to do modeling, so I'm fighting. That's why.
Yeah.
And I can't dance and I can't sing, so
right.
That's why I'm fighting.
So we ask fighters all the time who they think is the best athlete in MMA, and a lot of times they say that it's you. Did you know that this?
I don't know, but yeah, thanks for the support. You know, that's awesome. That's good to hear.
So what do you think about that? I mean, does that create pressure, or do you think? I mean, is it?
Does it create pressure? It's just fun to hear. It's give me motivation. You know.
Right. Okay. Good. So, in the last press conference with the UFC, you mentioned that, you know, you don't fight for the money, you don't fight for the fame, you have an education so you could do something else. So what is it about MMA that you are most passionate about?
Well, I've been doing martial arts since I'm 7 years old. I grew up with the idolism of being a martial art artist, and I was a big fan when I was young of Jean-Claude Van Damme and all those, you know, movie star, and in the movie you see them make tournament and win the tournament. I was at this idolism of winning a tournament of martial art and becoming like a champion in it, and I have the opportunity to do it. So, you know, I'm the most happy man on earth right now.
Awesome, great. Okay, so you always enter the octagon wearing a gi, so it seems that tradition is into you. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I come from a Kyokushin karate background, and it's very classy, I think, to wear a gi, because I always wear a gi because that's where I come from. I come from traditional martial art.
Right.
And for me, it's important that I always remember where I come from.
I see. Well, you represent the sport very well, and you're always so professional, especially since you're one of the few fighters who actually wears a suit, though, when you're just a guest fighter. Can you talk about where that comes from? Is that just something that you've always done? Looking professional, wearing a suit.
Maybe the way I've been raised, you know. I think in the sport, you know, like people not only care about how you perform in the octagon, they care how you look like outside of the octagon. The example that you shown. And for me, it's important to have a good image, to look good inside the octagon when I'm fighting, but also outside.
Right.
When I'm not fighting. And we try to make our sport, you know, like mainstream. And the problem is, if you look at boxing, if you look at hockey, football, in press conference, the guys are always in suit. They're professional athletes, so they wear a suit. You know, that's important. That's business. That's class. That show you who you are. And when I see guys coming and they look like a bomb in press conference, it disgusts me. Because it's a shame for our sport. We try to make the sport seen as professional athlete. We try to look like professional athlete, but we don't act like professional athlete.
Right.
So that's why sometimes it bugs me a little bit. So that's why I'm a professional. I tell myself that I am a professional athlete, and I act like a professional athlete.
Right.
That when it's business, it's business. Of course, I don't wear a suit in normal day because you know what I mean. I'm a normal person. But when it's time to business, I wear a suit because it's business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm a professional. That's why I do that.
Right. All right. If you weren't a fighter, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
I would probably be something like, I would say, a personal trainer, sport psychologist, or something like that.
Okay. Is that something you think you'd like to pursue after your career, after you decide to retire from fighting?
I don't know. Maybe a trainer.
Uh-huh.
I would like to open up a school, a mixed martial arts school.
Uh-huh.
But we'll see how it goes down. I have no clue right now.
Right, right. Okay, so who is the most influential person in your life and why?
I would say it's probably my mom and my dad.
Okay.
Maybe my mom, because I don't have older brother or sisters.
You're the
So my mom is the person who raised me the most, my mom and my dad.
I see. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. Let me have a few more minutes. Okay. In regard to your walkout song, do you ever see yourself as like a kind of modern day samurai?
Well, I'm not a samurai, but the spirit is the same.
Right, yeah.
Don't forget the spirit is the same. It could be samurai that were dying on the battlefield, but the spirit is the same. When I'm going to fight, I'm ready to go all the way there. I'm ready to give everything I got, and I'm going always in the fight with the same spirit.
I see. Okay. How would you describe the GSP of today versus the GSP from a year ago?
I'm way more. My skills are way better, more well-rounded, more confident in myself, and more mature, more strong. Athletic-wise, I'm way better, and I'm way more athletic, and way more confident. My mental game is way better. So that's why I would beat myself years ago.
Right. Awesome. Okay. And okay, so just for fun, what would you say are the 10 best things to do in Montreal?
10 best things to do. Well, they have some nice restaurants. They have some nice clubs. Nice, the nightlife is amazing. Out there. You can go walk on on Mont Royal Mountain. Well, there's a lot of things. You can go skiing up north. You can go do snowboarding. You can go play hockey. You can go, you know what I mean? There is the Oratoire Saint-Joseph. It's a monument, a historical monument. You can go out there, visit the Oratoire Saint-Joseph. A lot of museums. Go spend time in the old Montreal, which is very nice too. There's a lot of things going on. You can go underneath, like at the Eaton Center, on the ground thing, where all the stores are. It's one of the biggest in North America, maybe the biggest one. A lot of things going on. It's a pretty amazing city. People are very nice. People are different. It's more European. It's totally different than the rest of America because it's French and the culture is totally different. So the people are very hot-blooded. It's nice, and I love it.
Cool. Okay, well, that's all the questions I have. Well, that's all the time I have for. But just wanted to say merci beaucoup for your time and bonne chance.
Thank you very much. Merci encore et bonne chance. J'espère que vous allez apprécier le spectacle. I hope you will enjoy the show.
Oh, awesome. I think I will. All right. Well, take care. Thanks again, George.
All right. Bye-bye.